Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Faulty Effects. As always, this is Tim, bringing you another exciting tutorial. Yeah, that's it, another exciting tutorial. And for this one, we are going to turn day to night. So right here you see the examples that I already have made up. And this right here is what it started out looking like. Pretty big difference. So let's just kind of go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to show you two different ways on how to do it. One involves a add-on, the other you can do just with levels, curves, and a couple other things. So let's go ahead and duplicate this. The first one I'm going to name Colorista, because that is the name of the add-on that we are going to use. So with it selected, Control Space for the FX console, and I'm going to type in Colorista. There we go. Alright, so here is the layout for Colorista. We have a few different drop-down menus in here. I'm going to close those just to kind of keep things organized up here for me. I'm going to start right here in color correction, and I am going to start by bringing the shadows down a little bit, because when you look at a night shot, you don't really see much as far as shadows go back in here. Midtones, we kind of want to get rid of those too. Not too much though. Probably about right there would be alright. And then highlights, we kind of bring those down as well. So we're going to want to bring the temperature down, because when you look at a night shot, it's always kind of a cooler shot. And with Colorista, if you go up, you got kind of a warmer color. If you go down, you have a cooler color. So I'm just going to leave it right here at -100. Bring the tint, let's see how the tint changes it. And I'm going to put that about -3. See where we are at when the dust settles. Exposure. So this is really what's going to make it darker. And you don't have to go real far with this to see any kind of a huge difference. Alright, I'm just going to leave it about there. This is starting to look pretty good to me. And I'm just going to leave highlight recovery alone, because we don't want any highlights. Unless if it's like a really bright moonlight out, you're not going to have many highlights. So we're going to close that up. Head down to Hue and Saturation. Once again, when you look at night shots, you don't see much as far as saturation goes. So we're going to take this down to probably right around there. Oh, that seems to be a little bit much. About right there. And with the hue, I'm going to leave this at 0 and then come back to it after I finish the rest of this stuff up. Structure and lighting. So with the highlights, once again, there's not going to really be any kind of highlights. So I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to bring the shadows down just a little bit. I don't know. probably about right there was good. And with pop, you want to be careful with because it can start causing artifacts, as you can see. And that goes in either way. So you go the other direction, it starts blurring everything out. I'm going to put this at about -25. And then I'm going to bump up the vignette to about there. And come down here. I'm going to adjust this curve a little bit. There we go. And you can play around with these right here. They give you just kind of different looks. I am just going to go ahead and stick with that one, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with this one. I like the blue and kind of like, I don't know, a halo of color coming from the over the mountain there. And as far as Colorista go, that's about it. Not too bad for a day to night shot. All right. So let's go ahead and, you know what? Before I go over to the next one, I'm going to mask this one out. With the layer selected. There we go. So we can kind of see the difference between the two. So we got this one right here. This one right here, we're going to just use the normal After Effects add-on or After Effects color correction settings. So I am going to start out with levels. And with levels, I'm going to bring this down. You see it's kind of getting rid of the details in the mountains back there. So I'm going to start bringing this down to about right there, I think. That looks pretty decent. And then I'm going to bring this, kind of get rid of some of that white there. And I'm just going to put it about right there is good. All right. I'm not going to mess with the gamma too much, I don't think. Yeah, maybe I will. I'll put it about here. All right. So that's the first one. Those settings are good there. Let's add the next one. The next one I'm going to add is exposure. Remember, exposure is where it really starts to get dark, and you don't have to take it very far for it. I am just going to put it about right here. Yeah, that's good. And then I'm going to change the gamma, bring it down just a tad. Seems to be getting a bit darker. Come back and play with that later if need be. And that's it as far as exposure goes. Offset will just kind of make that happen. So I just always leave that at 0. Alright, the next one I'm going to add is a hue and saturation. And I'm going to bring the saturation way down. Probably down to about here. Mess with lightness. Nah. Leave that there. And that's it for hue and saturation. And then I like to add a curves. And with the curves, I'm going to bring this up just a tad. And then I like, with the night shots, I like to add a little bit of blue. Kind of give it a little bit of a cooler look. Oh, there it is. Couldn't see it there for a second. Okay. That's looking pretty decent. I'm gonna go back in and kind of mess with the settings just a little bit. Bring the exposure down just a little more, I think. Come back in here and mess with the levels. Alright, so you kind of get the gist of what's going on here. And you can kind of play with these until you get the look that you're going for. But that's basically it. It's pretty simple to make a day shot look like a night shot. It's pretty simple with just a few settings that you can change. I hope you guys found this tutorial useful. Feel free to like, subscribe, come back, check out the other videos, you know, that kind of thing. Thanks for watching.